Hey everyone, it's Greg with Advantage One Brokers, and this is the ADV One podcast. This is a podcast that we come to you each and every weekday, and we bring you relevant news and training and topics. Today, we have some very special training. We have a guest, Mr. Mike Torrenti from Royal Neighbors of America. He is a regional sales account manager, and he's been there for 10 years. So, Mike, how you been? How you doing, brother?
Doing well, doing well.
So with this transition over to ADV1, we have access to a lot of different carriers that we've never really used before. Not that they didn't have access to before, it's just they never really reached out to Real Neighbors. And so what I wanted to do is just kind of bring you on board. Tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us a little bit about the company, and we're going to walk into the types of products that the company has and go from there.
Certainly. Thank you. Thank you again for having me.
You're welcome.
Royal Neighbors, founded in 1895. So the 125th anniversary was also at the start of COVID. So it's been, unfortunately, our celebratory year did not occur as we had wished. But 1895, and by 9 visionary women in Council Bluffs, Iowa. These were wives of these are wives that were not insured at that time, so they got together, formed the foundation as we know it today. We are a fraternal benefit society, so we're not a stock, we're not a mutual, so we are different from other carriers that you may have worked with. So once an agent's contracted with us and sells a piece of business, or your clients as well, once they have coverage, they become a member as well, and we'll talk about why that's beneficial to you and to your clients. So 1895, you couldn't vote, you couldn't own property, and very few educational opportunities. And these women did a phenomenal job and formed Royal Neighbors. We are now headquartered in Rock Island, Illinois. So we've got the nice, strong Midwestern values. We do have our sales office here in Mesa, Arizona as well. Okay. So we've got 2 different locations to serve the agents. But really, it is about giving back in our local communities. That was the foundation for these women. So we have a network of chapters all across the U.S. where we go and make a difference in the local communities. For us, it's about giving back. One really touching story that I tell is we had worked with a local school here in Mesa, and we put together a backpack drive for the start of school. And this is a very low income school where they're actually busing the kids in from other locations for this school. Mm-hmm. Now, the principal he's a tremendous guy, and it's a joy to work with him. He stopped a child one day in the hallway and said, I'd like you to come down to my office. And the kid, being a little kid in elementary school, was petrified. And he looked at him, he said, no, it's okay, come on down. So he gave that kid one of the backpacks that we had provided them. And the kid was just so touched and thanked him profusely because that was the first new backpack he had ever had. Now, that's awesome. Being a great kid and being a great brother, he said, can I get one for my brother as well? And that to me, just, that's the difference, just on a small scale with a child that we made in here in Mesa. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's about giving back. And that's what we do through the network of chapters. We also have our member savings. And so we've got a discounted legal service. With the discounted legal service, the clients are eligible for a free simple will with annual updates. How many times do you go out and meet with a final expense client and they have no will in place?
Oh, all the time.
Bingo.
All the time.
Bingo. So this is a great way for them to take their member savings, their member benefits program, in addition to the great coverage that they've got. Now they've got a will in place, and that's really what it's about. Discounted prescription drug program. So you've got Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, all your big ones. Beginning of each year, I go in for my RX, I give them my member savings card and my insurance card and have them run both to give me the lowest price. Yeah. Dental savings, vision savings. I mean, it's just retail savings. It's across the board, but I really think the one that does make the biggest difference is that legal savings.
Okay. No, that's awesome. I think that's a pretty that's actually a massive impact. That's a great selling point for agents in the field, because I've I would say 99% of the people that I run by, that when in the field, they don't have any kind of, even, and this is even young people with getting a term policy,
Mhm.
they don't have a will in place.
Right.
And so that's fantastic.
And again, you as the agent, once you sell your first piece of business, you become a member and you've got access to all the programs as well. So that's really key. You can participate with those, you can understand them, you can know them inside and out just by utilization. So it's a win-win for the client, for the agent.
Yeah.
One other thing it does, it helps with retention. If they give up their certificate, they give up their coverage, they give up their member savings.
Okay. That's awesome. And that's that one little piece. It's like, well, if I replace this policy, or if I don't pay it and I'm getting rid of it, then I'm going to lose access to all these extra benefits. I can see that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So, I mean, obviously the sell is based upon the life insurance coverage, their
Yes.
need.
Yeah.
And then in addition to it, no additional cost to them, they get all the added on member savings.
Okay. Okay. And so with that, what are the different kinds of policies that a new agent coming on board can write with Rural Neighbors?
Sure. Easy to understand, easy to acquire. That's what we're all about.
Okay.
Okay. So the first and foremost is going to be the final expense, our simplified issue, and our graded death benefit plan, where it's currently available. Due to COVID, there are restrictions on the states that we do have the graded plan available.
Okay.
So the simplified issue, 3 ways to purchase: telephone, in-person e-app, paper application.
Okay.
So they've got 3 ways to write the client.
Okay.
7,000 is the minimum on the coverage, up to 30,000 for the maximum.
Okay.
9-question application. And the first one's tobacco.
Oh, wow. It's only 9 questions on the application.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
2 through 7 are knockout questions. So it is simple.
That's real simple. That's real simple. I like that.
One key feature of that too is no height weight chart.
No
so
height weight. Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, we run into Bob's out in the field. Now,
Okay.
Bob is a big old boy.
Yeah.
So you've got the guy that's 6'8" and 425 pounds. There's no height weight chart. So if he can answer no to the questions, he's going to get covered.
Okay. Okay. Most times you're running in the field, agents are running to people that have had a heart attack, more than a year ago, or that have COPD. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So is COPD a knockout?
COPD is going to be a knockout.
Okay. Okay. And then for like heart attack, is there a time frame for heart attack?
I don't know it off the top of my head. The biggest bonus they've got too is they can contact our underwriting department and get a risk assessment.
Okay. And we'll at the end of this, I'll get information for contacting the underwriting. Is there like an underwriting chart that when they become an agent that they can go to the portal and they can just get like a underwriting guidelines or anything?
So
like that?
We've got the field underwriting guide available.
Okay.
The application, I mean, if we go through the application, that just happens to be one I don't know off the top of my head, but the application will give the time frame and the condition right there. So
right
it's
there in
very
the
easy to
application.
understand.
Okay.
What's also great too is there's a RX lookup right on the homepage of the portal. So if they don't know the drug, or they're not familiar with what the drug's used for, they can type it in and it's going to pull it up and it'll tell them right there for the final expense, whether it's going to be acceptable, graded, or decline.
Or decline. Okay. So that's the simplified issue for final expense, 7,000 to 30,000. And then is the graded also 7,000 to 30,000?
But graded is only available in five states right now.
Okay.
Due to COVID.
Yeah. It's still wreaking havoc, I guess.
Yes, it is, unfortunately.
Okay. And then what in terms of whole life policies, is there any other whole life policies aside from the simplified?
Yes, and that goes into our Jet portfolio. Now, Jet is e-app only, and it's only face-to-face at this time. So
Okay.
you have to be in front of the client. It's all done electronic signature in front of the client.
Okay.
So we have our Jet Whole Life. Minimum on that product is 25,000. Now, if you have a healthy client that's willing to possibly undergo a paramed,
Mhm.
I'd write Jet all day long just because of the cost. Jet obviously is going to be a lot lower cost than the simplified issue plan,
Okay.
because simplified, we're obviously taking more risks there.
Yeah.
Jet, we're getting more information. So both the Jet Whole Life and the Jet Term are fully underwritten, but we'll talk about where the accelerated underwriting comes in and really where that placement for the client is.
Okay.
So Jet Whole Life, again, 25,000 minimum. We go up to 5,000 or 5 million for the maximum. We
That's
also
up to 5 million.
yes,
Okay. For a whole life. That's awesome.
right. We also do offer a juvenile plan for the Jet Whole Life.
Okay.
So we go down to 10,000 for the minimum there. So that's definitely something that they.
I assume that the juvenile is going to be from birth.
Yes.
Okay. And then for the
15
actual
days.
for the Jet Whole Life, what age is the minimum age?
The Jet Whole Life begins at 18. The juvenile 0 to 17.
Okay. So basically if somebody's sitting with somebody, or if an agent is sitting with somebody that's in their young 20s, young 30s, and they want to do a whole life, they have the option to do a Jet Whole Life. And that's gonna be something that they can get them super cheap whole life comparatively to any other simplified product out there. So okay.
What they also have available is the Jet Term. Now 50,000 is the minimum on the term plan. But with that does begin at age 18. So if we're working with a younger family, you want both term and perm, we have the ability to do both on one application. So you'll apply for both products on one application. So it's gonna again, it's about ease of doing business. It's going to save the time for the agent completing the application, and for the client to, we're not reiterating all the questions we just got done answering.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Is the max for the term also 5 million?
5 million, correct.
Okay. So they can theoretically sit with somebody that wants to do a combination of term / perm or whole life, and they can do one application for that client.
Correct.
So they only have to go through one. It's kind of ease of use.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
They will get 2 different certificates, but they get, one application.
Okay. And when it comes to you had mentioned having expedited or like quick, fast underwriting.
Accelerated underwriting.
Accelerated underwriting. Okay.
That's what Jet is. When you think about Jet, what do you think about?
Something,
yeah, fast.
Very fast.
Yes. So with the products, so with the age and amounts, we go up to age 50, we go up to 500,000 with no paramed exam.
Okay. Up to age 50, 500,000 or less.
Correct.
No paramed.
No paramed.
Okay. Up
to age 60, we go up to 250,000 with no paramed exam. 61 and over will require a paramed.
You said up to age 60 is what?
250,000.
Okay.
So
I'm making notes too.
Sure. If you've got a clean client, that's something to take a look at, especially with your younger, healthy individuals. You can sit down, you can have your coverage. Boom. 15 days. We want to take the process from 15 days down to 15 minutes.
Okay. And are there any accelerated death benefits, living benefits that come with the term?
Yes,
absolutely.
Critical, chronic, and terminal illness.
Fantastic.
No additional cost on those. Now, fully convertible as well. Your term product is convertible to the permanent plan. Now, here's something that I'm going to throw at you, a little curveball.
Okay.
The perm plan is convertible to a term plan.
Really?
Yes. So where does that come into play? Well, what happened with COVID? Businesses shut down, people were getting laid off. When you get laid off, what's one of the first things to go?
Your life insurance. Yeah.
So you've got the ability to convert that permanent plan to a term plan. Now the minimum has got to be 50,000 on the whole life because that's the minimum on the term.
Mhm.
So we can convert it. And if it's still within the conversion privilege, you can convert it back to the term plan later on.
Okay. So you can go from perm to term,
To term
back to perm.
Perm.
Okay.
Correct.
If needed, just to save some money,
Exactly.
drop the coverage to what a term would be at the same
Mhm.
exact age and benefit amount.
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense. All right.
But that's something pretty unique. You don't see a lot of term or perm to term conversions available in the marketplace.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are going to like the idea of doing a term to perm so
Correct.
that if they get to, they got a 30-year term and it's like, hey, I've had the term for 20 years and super healthy. I'd like to convert it to a perm. They have that ability to do so.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
then
we
and
just
just basically pay the difference of what it would have been for a perm at that time.
Yep. There'll be initial rate class, actual age at the time of conversion.
Okay.
So if you've got an individual, here's a great one for you. Individual takes out $100,000 term plan and for whatever reason, they become uninsurable.
Mhm.
They can still convert that plan to a permanent plan within the conversion privilege at the initial rate class.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you've got an individual that again, takes out 100,000,
Yeah.
they suffer a brain aneurysm. Okay.
Yeah.
True story. That individual was issued at a preferred rate class. Now they're uninsurable. They can still convert that term to perm at the preferred rate class.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what's the max age that's approvable age for a term and then for the perm?
Sure. So for perm, for the jet whole life, you're looking, we've got both the fully underwritten, or excuse me, the level pay and the 20 pay products available.
Okay.
So you're going to go out to age 75 right now. Actually, I think we might have added it back to age 80. Let me just pop this up. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, with COVID, we did pull the maximum issue ages down on the products. So we do go up to age 80 on the on the jet whole life now. We added 76 to 80 back in.
And that's for the jet whole life. Now for the simplified, we didn't talk about this. For the simplified, is the max age 85?
80 on that as well.
80. Okay.
Right. What we saw with COVID and the claims, and a lot of carriers started dialing the ages back.
Yeah. And then for the term, is it also 80 or is it 75 for the jet term?
Jet term, we're actually at age 65.
65.
Right. So on the jet products, it used to, well, I take 80 and then deduct the length of term to get the maximum issue age. So I take the number 80, 15-year product, which is the base that we sell. 65 is the maximum issue age on that.
Okay. Perfect. How, if somebody does have to do a paramed, what do you guys see the typical turnaround time if, with a paramed and getting everything
getting an
from
order,
flash to bang?
Yeah, getting an order, it's actually done during the application process.
Okay.
So if it's the paramed required, you're submitting that, it's ordering the requirements at that time. So it's sending the ticket out to the paramed service to contact the client.
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of done behind the scenes for the agent.
Correct. So everything, when you're doing the jet application, what's great about that is it's reflexive. Mm-hmm. So you're going through and you're answering the question and you're drilling down. Okay. Mm-hmm. Diabetes. Okay. What age? What's your current A1C? We've got the meds. So we're running RX profile in the background, running MIB in the background, running MVR in the background. everything's being done right there.
Okay.
So it's getting more information as it's going through
Yeah.
the application. So it's not an automatic yes answer on the plan. On the application is not an automatic decline, depending on the question.
Yeah.
But so you've got that coming through right there, and it's drilling it down. So then at the end, we're going to verify the identity of the client. We're going to present 3 questions that are going to pull from the credit database, which are going to be, you took out a home loan in 2014. Who is that with? Your auto loan that you took out in 2021, your approximate payment is, so it's things like that that the client should know in order to verify their identity.
Exactly.
It's something you and I are not going to know about that client unless we're writing ourselves, but it's going to verify their identity right there. It's that security check for the client.
Okay. Okay. And so I'm trying to think of, I had a question when you were talking about that, when you were about the term. Term goes up to 5 million. Pyramid, it's good. Commission, that's what it was. For commission rates, and commission payout, really. Do you guys pay out every day? Is it once a week? Is it upon drafting of the first premium?
We're going to pay out, it's on approval, and we're going to pay daily commissions.
Daily commissions on approval.
Correct.
Fantastic.
Now, with the jet products at this time, we do draft the first premium immediately. Okay. That's key. So here we are, at the beginning of September, and I take a look, and my client wants the draft date set for the 5th. It will draft today, and it will draft again on the 5th. So that is going to be changed down the road here. We are currently working on that, but as of today, they're going to get dinged twice. Okay. So you just want to make sure that that's clear up front, so that So
the workaround would be let it draft, and then once it starts, change the date to the 5th for the following month.
Or they can wait for the appointment. Okay. I mean, that's the workaround at this time, unfortunately. But that again, that is going to be changed down the road here. Okay.
Okay. And when it comes to, I know a common medical question or medical condition that we run to in the field for term is going to be diabetes with insulin, stuff like that. Is that something that can be approved with the term if somebody's an insulin, as long as the A1C fits within parameters?
Yes. Again, it's going to drill that question down. How long have they had it? What's the current control? The current meds. They always have access to the underwriters to get a ballpark rating. Now, I would love to tell everybody that, we're going to take a diabetic on the term product, but I want them to call in if they've got questions on that. Okay. And the underwriter is going to tell them yay or nay right there. Even if they're looking at a jet whole life, the underwriter is going to say, no, they're not going to qualify here, but they may qualify for the final expense product. So we don't want to go through the application process and get that decline up front, or no, we're going to be rated up front. So if we can do that, then we can work with the client in the appropriate product. Okay. What's the minimum age for the Simplified? 50 is the minimum age. 50 to 80. Okay. All righty. I'm trying to think about what's the questions that every single agent would have. Look at this, and I think that's about it. That's the biggest thing that people are going to be looking at is, age ranges, coverage amounts, basic. They're going to be able to get to the underwriting guide once they get into their account. So yeah, I think that's about it. Is there anything else for when it comes to just keynotes from the products, the company, that agents should know when they're going out in the field and starting to use Real Neighbors? Any e-app that is done has to be done face to face. Okay. But aside from the Real Neighbors Simplified issue. Correct. That can be done over the phone. Yes, but if it's an e-app, because they do have that available on the final expense, that has to be done face to face. They can't do a Zoom call or a WebEx meeting or anything like that. It's got to be done face to face. Okay. History, we've been around for 125 years. We are A rated now. Last year, we were actually upgraded from A- to A by AM Best. Okay. So during the pandemic, for that to occur is pretty amazing. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's actually very amazing.
that you guys went up in your financial stability and financial credibility.
Correct.
So if, or for future use, are you guys looking at doing any kind of transition to email signature, or where somebody for at least the term or the jet whole life, the
Right.
jet term, transitioning to an email signature or anything like that, so that they can do it over FaceTime? I know that's a big thing.
Yes, we are exploring it right now.
Okay. That's something that I know that I would like to keep in touch with, and
Sure.
keep my ear to the ground for when that happens, because having a term that you can go up to 5 million, and with that, it has underwriting guidelines that can be done in the background while it's going on. Hey, if I go over 500,000 for a specific age, it's automatically ordering a paramed. That's fantastic. That's a great product. So, I think that's all the questions that I know of that I can think of for that agents would have. But if there's any other parting words for us, Mike.
Financially strong, financially stable. Again, we've been around since 1895. We're proud of our history, and we're looking forward to the future.
Fantastic. Well, for all the people watching, all the agents watching, this was the ADV1 podcast. We appreciate you joining us. This again is Mike Torrenti with Rural Neighbors of America. If you have any questions, Mike, how could they reach out to you or to underwriting if they had any questions about this?
800-770-4561. And then from the tree, option 1 is the agent line, and option 1 will get you into new business in the underwriting department. And we have our sales support team available as well. They're option number 5.
Okay. Fantastic. And hey, for all you guys watching this, if you're on YouTube, make sure that you follow the channel, that you like the video. If you got value out of this, make sure that you share it with other people that could also get value. We're going to be coming each and every weekday with more training just like this. And we're going to be talking to more carriers, more products, just so that we can help you, the agent, succeed in